give a very warm welcome to Siiri Visto. I first met Damien when I was 19 years old. We had a class together in community college. He had long, beautiful brown hair, gauges in his ears, and glasses. He was gorgeous. One of the first things he asked me after class was, "You seem like an old soul. What kind of music are you into?" I was hooked. He would text me in the mornings, and I felt so special because, well, I didn't hear from anybody else in the mornings. And they were always just like really sweet messages. So when I was with him, I just felt like I was high. When I was like totally sober, I felt like we were navigating this dream world together. So one night, I went to a rave with a friend of mine, and we get inside, and Damien is there. So I go up to him, and I gave him a peck on the lips, and it turned into this full-blown makeout session. Just like we were sitting on a chair, we fell off, I got bruises, he broke his glasses. We snuck under a table, and we started getting like hot and heavy, and then all of a sudden the security grabbed both of our wrists and threw us out of the club. And I got out there and I was like, man, I feel good about myself. I'm so infamous for getting kicked out of a club for making out too hard. Never did anything like that before. So after that, we go back to his house, and after he pleasures me, I tell him that he has magic hands. So after we slept together, we kept in contact. We didn't really see each other after that too many times. So a few weeks later, I went to another rave with a friend of mine named Mika. Mika and I, we really didn't know each other too well, but we had this really deep connection, just inexplicable. I was drawn to her. And so I hung out with her to figure out why. So we go to this rave, and it's in a warehouse, like literally a warehouse. There's abandoned cars covered with dirt. You sit on the ground, you have to like dust yourself off. And Mika suggested that we tried Ecstasy. So never tried it before. But I wasn't close to the idea of trying it. I just never sought it out for myself. But I trusted her, and I thought, well, if I have this experience, it'll be a good one. So we go up to this guy, shady looking character. I mean, he looked like a drug dealer. That was the point. He had this wife beater on, backwards cap, and he had this girl hanging all over him. And I thought, well, he seems trustworthy, right? Maybe he won't rip us off or roofie us because, well, he's preoccupied. So we buy the drugs from him, we take them, and then a few minutes later, Mika gets sick, so I'm taking care of her. And she says to me, you know, if it was anybody else here, they would have left me. So I'm really glad that you're here with me. And I thought, wow, I feel so much more connected to you now because I'm the one that would never leave you. So a few minutes later passes, and she gets a little bit better. And then she says, you know, I've always been bi-curious, and I've always wanted to kiss a girl. And honestly, I never really had those thoughts before, but I thought, well, if it's with you, that'll be okay, since I like you. So she gets better, we go on the dance floor, and a few minutes after that, the drugs hit me hard. And I turn to Mika and I say, I need to make out with somebody right now. I scanned the room quickly, couldn't find anybody. So Mika and I started making out, and it was perfect. It was so different from any other kiss that I had before. They were all so rough and rushed. But with her, it was like kissing a marshmallow. She was just so light and fluffy, and it just felt perfect doing it. So after our makeout session, I get a tap on the shoulder, and I turn around, and it's Damien. And I'm so excited to see him because I had no idea that he was going to be there. And he said, I recognized you because of your hair. And it just sent me a surge of confidence because I never liked my hair, but it made me memorable to him. So the three of us went to the back of the room, sat down, and then Mika and Damien's eyes locked and their faces lit up. And I watched these people fall in love at first sight. And it was beautiful, like a sunrise. And just to remind you, I was on Ecstasy that night, so my perceptions were a little bit altered. Because I thought, wow, I'm really surprised I'm not jealous of this right now. So my jealousy definitely subsided soon after that because the three of us started making out. So we're just making out, and it's like sexy and sloppy, and just we're letting ourselves go and fully enjoying each other. And then Mika suggests that we go home with Damien. And I agree. And Mika's really running this night. She's doing the whole show. So we load up into Damien's car, and we drive to 7-Eleven to get some condoms. And I'll never forget this, but Mika yelled out of the passenger window, "Buy the thin ones! I want you to feel something!" And it was hilarious. I'll never forget that she said that. It was the line of the night. So we go to Damien's house. We take our clothes off. We're kissing. But then now I'm in control. I know exactly what I want. So I order Damien to go down on me. And then after I'm done with him, I give him over to Mika. And I watch as she writhes and moans in pleasure. And it's the sexiest thing that I've ever seen. So after the three of us had sex, we went to bed. And when we woke up the next day, I started cuddling with Mika and Damien. And Damien was here, Mika was in the middle, and I was on the side of her. And Damien pulls out his laptop and starts playing the soundtrack for that movie, Across the Universe. And I thought, this is literally the worst thing that you could play right now. Because I hated the movie, and I hated the soundtrack even more. But Mika and Damien had like no idea. And so I'm sitting here, uncomfortable, and I feel like I've been just robbed of my afterglow. I just had sex with these two people, and now I'm like a third wheel that probably shouldn't even be here. It was just really low. So after all that, Damien drops Mika and I back at my house, and we talk about what happened. And I realized that I'm not mad at her for what happened. I did feel jealousy, but my feelings for her trumped them. And that was my first time that I realized that I'm not monogamous, and I can have intense feelings for more than one person at the same time. And it just felt so good to express myself fully. Thank you.